Scanlon. Jeffries. Schakowsky. Jeffries. Schiff. Jeffries. Schneider. Jeffries. Skolton. Jeffries. Schreier. Jeffries. Schweikert. Jordan.
Schweikert.
Austin Scott. Jordan. David Scott. Jeffries.
Jeffries.
Scott of Virginia. Jeffries. Self. Jordan. Sessions. Jordan. Sewell.
Thank you, Florida Mom.
Jeffries.
I love your content.
Sherman. Jeffries.
What's up, M169? What's up, Mike? Thank you.
Jeffries.
Saludos.
Simpson. Scalise.
Scalise.
Slotkin. Jeffries. Smith of Missouri. Jordan. Smith of Nebraska. Jordan. Smith of New Jersey. Jordan. Smith of Washington. Jeffries. Smucker. Jordan.
Smuckers.
Sorensen.
Like the jelly.
Jeffries. Soto. Jeffries. Spanberger. Jeffries. Sparts. Sparts. Stansbury.
Sparks didn't want to vote.
Jeffries.
CCD,
Stanton.
thank you for coming through and saying hello. I appreciate it.
Jeffries. Stauber. Jordan.
America is winning. That's who's winning. Gianpaolo. Pialo.
Jordan.
Jean Pialo.
Stefanik. Jordan. Stone. Jeffries. Turner. Jordan.
So what they're doing right now, I guess they're coming together so that they can go ahead and tally all of the votes and
I
everything.
also come to order. The reading clerk will now call the names of the members who did not answer the first call of the roll.
Bilirakis. Bilirakis.
Bilirakis.
Buck. Emmer. Cardenas. Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries. Jordan Jeffries. Jim Jeffries. Jim Jordan. Hakeem Jordan.
James. Cole.
I vote for Hakeem Jordan. Joyce of Ohio. Jordan. LaMalfa. McCarthy. McCarthy. We want Jim Jeffries or Hakeem Jordan to win.
Sparts. Massey.
Tell y'all something. Democrats will win this if the Republicans continue to play games that they're playing. I don't know why they decide to do that. They either won't vote or they'll vote for somebody that don't have an opportunity of winning. And you already know Democrats are going to vote down party lines regardless. Democrats will vote down party lines. And something that Republicans need to stop doing is playing games. Oh, CCD, do not get fired. You better go to work. Go to work. Michael Jordan will win. Hey, man, your lunch break is over. Go clock back in. This journey is like watching paint dry, man. I don't know how y'all do this. Like, y'all will cut on your TV and this will be entertaining for y'all? Like, this will be entertaining for y'all? You already know they're going to vote down party lines for the most part. Democrats are going to vote down party lines. I guess they're going to get them a snack, go outside for a quick smoke break. Go outside for some cigarettes right quick. Go smoke them a jack. Where are y'all seeing the numbers? Am I watching the wrong broadcast? Are you good? All right, CCD. Then you good. My bad. He's like, man, it's my job. I know what I'm doing. Mind your business. CCD said, mind your business, bruh. I know what I'm doing. I can take off for a couple of hours and they'll be all right. Shantavia says, if they allow Democrats to take control of the House, those Republicans' careers are over. You're absolutely right. I agree 1,000%. They're going to get rid of them. They're going to be like, man, get the hell up out of here. Your career is over. It's done, I say. It's done. They already got together to get rid of Kevin McCarthy. Now, if they don't vote down, they need to learn how to vote down party lines because Democrats are going to do that. I don't know how in the world y'all sit and watch this, though, like on your TV. Like, how many of y'all got it on your TV right now? This. And you're just like, man, this right here, I got me a snack. Jordan got 200, Jeffries got 212, others 20. Where are you getting this from? Let me tell you something. I go up on... Yeah, Republicans play too many games, man. Y'all better learn how to fight together, man. C-SPAN. Let me see if C-SPAN have it on here. I'm on the Xbox. You watching it on your Xbox? That's dedication right there. Let me see C-SPAN's see what C-SPAN talking about. See if they have it. All right, that's better. Boom. We got the actual numbers now. And we cooking with grease. I told y'all. What did I tell you, man? What did I tell you? Republicans better stop playing games. Better stop playing games, man. If the Democrats win, I'm gonna fire y'all up. I'm gonna make so much fun of y'all. It's gonna be crazy. You're gonna be mad at me. You're never gonna watch my videos anymore. For real. You're gonna be mad because I'm gonna fuss at y'all. I'm gonna fuss at every single last one of y'all for not making them. Oh, that's the first round. So there's a second round. What the heck? How many rounds we got? How many rounds of the cure for insomnia do we have? I think someone said that that the Republican debate, the RNC debate, was a cure for insomnia. No, this is right here. I haven't been able to rest, take a nap for days, and I believe I am about to take a nap right now while on the screen. Vote out. Listen, let me tell you something. Hold on. Whoa. I just now saw that. Mike Oxford said, Mike Oxford says, bruh, why you look so mean in your daggone thumbnail? Look at this right here. Look at Mike Oxford's thumbnail. Look at his face. You look so mean and sad, like you need a hug, bro. But I agree. Vote out every Republican that didn't vote for Jordan. Get them up out of here. They don't have a freedom of speech. They got to vote party lines or they up out of here. Everybody thought they were being cute by voting for McCarthy, voting for throwing other names out there, not voting at all. Now look at what happens. These numbers, if the numbers come out lopsided and Jim Jordan does not win, yeah, fuss at yourselves for not holding these people accountable for voting down party lines, because Democrats will vote down party lines most times. It might make them sheep, but guess what? They work together. They're going to win the day. If they win, if they win, y'all are something else, man. I swear to goodness. Mike, I'm still laughing at that at your face on that thumbnail, man. Your face looks hilarious. You look like you about to snitch on somebody, and your thumbnail look like you about to snitch on somebody, bro. It really does. It look just like you about to snitch. Like I'm about to go tell on somebody. How does anybody not vote for Jim Jordan? Well, they might be Democrats, and they've been told already. They've been told already that we are not voting for anybody else but Hakeem Jeffries. Look at them just having all that fun. Look, they are having a good time, man. They got this is a big event for them, man. And it should be serious enough for them to vote down party lines. I know y'all are like, man, why vote down party lines? You should go off of the details and who's going to be best for the job. No, when it comes to stuff like this, vote down party lines, bro. Period. Vote down party lines. Because right now, it looked like it's a possibility that you guys might, Republicans might lose. All because y'all want to play games and buck the system. I'm voting for Kevin McCarthy. Did somebody say Trump name this time? What Matt Gaetz say? Who did Matt Gaetz vote for this time? Is he there? Who did Matt Gaetz vote for? What does that mean, vote down party lines? Well, obviously, Republicans don't know what that mean either. Yeah, I need to know what it mean. Right now, it don't seem like y'all know what it mean. First of all, I want to say thank you, everyone, for clicking play and watching this with me. I also want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. Y'all are very much appreciated. Let me cut the volume on again and see if they're talking again. Oh no, they're not talking. They're just walking around, shaking hands and telling each other that they love them, and they're putting on a show for the people who are watching on the other side of the screen, and they can give a damn about us because it is what it is. Watching from the UK, Van, hoping Jim Jordan wins. Much love to Raven Looney. Hopefully I said your name right. What are we hoping to expect from this right here? What does it mean for Republicans, and what does it mean for Democrats if depending on if Jim Jordan wins? What does it mean? Is there any type of power that you guys will have over anything? What does this mean? Oh, it's a baby. Somebody got a baby. Whose baby is that, bruh? Who the baby vote for? Who did the baby? I want to know who the baby voted for. If the baby voted for Hakeem Jordan Jeffries, if the baby voted for Jim Jordan, it's racist. Who did the baby vote for? That's what I want to know. Knowing good and well she could have found a sitter. You know you could have found a sitter. Stop playing. You could have found a sitter. Daggone baby come up in there. Baby is a rhino. That baby is a rhino. I don't trust that baby. Nah, that's one thing I don't trust. All right? I don't trust that baby. Look like they're getting ready. It look like they're getting ready. Don't look like they're ready yet, but it look like they're getting ready. So my expert opinion is that we don't trust that baby. Okay, they're back.
32, of which the Honorable Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 200 votes. The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212 votes.
Who the baby vote for?
The Honorable Kevin McCarthy of the state of California has received 6 votes.
Wow.
Lee Zeldin of the state of New York has received 3. The Honorable Steve Scalise of the state of Louisiana has received 7. The Honorable Mike Garcia of the state of California has received 1. The Honorable Tom Emmer of the state of Minnesota has received 1. The Honorable Tom Cole of the state of Oklahoma has received 1. The Honorable Thomas Massey of the state of Kentucky has received 1.
Now, does this mean that and please forgive me for my ignorance when it comes to things like this. I'm trying to figure it all out myself.
Speaker has not been elected.
So,
Pursuant to Clause 12A
is there a
of Rule 1,
certain
the
amount
chair
of
declares
numbers
the
that they
House
need?
in recess, subject to the call of the chair.
Boom, there's a recess. So the recess means that they have not received the numbers that they need in order for somebody, so they got to vote again later. So what's the numbers that have to be reached? They have to be 218. Is it 217, 218? It's 218? You've got to
The
hit
House is in
218.
recess, subject to the call of the chair. We'll see what happens if there's another round of voting today. But the official results, Jim Jordan in this first round, not close to winning the speakership with 200 votes. It was Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic nominee for speaker, with 212. 20 Republicans voting for someone else besides Jim Jordan.
Why?
We're going to take your phone call.
Why do they
your
do that?
reaction to this first round of voting.
Okay, so we've already done that. I want to take some people come up here and tell me your reaction to the first round of voting. I'm also going to listen to some of theirs as well. What you just now saw me put up here is a link that you can click and join me up here on the stage if you want to, and tell me what your reaction is for the first round of voting. I'm going to listen to theirs as well. They're about to have phone calls come in. When my own phone calls come in, then that will be
Speak.
you all pulling up. Then I will talk to you all. But so far, I think that Republicans need to stop playing the games that they play for real, because y'all could have easily won that round, but y'all chose not to by voting for anybody else but the people that they were there to vote for.
Jordan as Speaker of the People's House.
All right. So, hold on. We're not done yet. God dang it. No, we're not. Oh, no, we're not. We're not done yet. Because I want to hear what y'all got to say. Let me see. Why do y'all do that, man? Why do y'all do that? I don't get it. Y'all have the opportunity, and I'm talking to Republicans right now. You had the opportunity to vote Jim Jordan into office and as the Speaker of the House. More than 20 Republicans decided to vote for someone else. All right. The link that I added is a link so that you can click and come up here and give me your opinion of the whole situation if you like. If you don't, that's cool too, because this thing is like watching this thing is like watching what Crystal say? What Crystal say? It's like watching paint dry, man. For real. It seems like every single time you guys have an opportunity to vote for speaker or something, y'all play games. Like you already know you got it in the bag. What if while playing games this first round, Jeffries would have gotten 217 votes, 218 votes? What if that would have happened? How would that have made you feel? Yes, you guys, y'all. How would that have made you feel? It seems like people are playing games, man. Look at this right here. GOP clown show. This says GOP clowns. Jim Jordan will be the next speaker, but this is a little show. Nah, I don't think it'll go that way if they keep on playing those type of games. Who we got up here? Mike. Oh, Mike locked in, and we had somebody come up on stage and then decided to roll back out. How many rounds did it take for the last guy for McCarthy? How many rounds did it take for McCarthy to win? Did it take 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds? How many rounds did it take, guys? Shantavia, can you hear me? I can hear you, Mike. Is that Mike? Is that Mike? Okay. All right. So we got Mike on the line right now. What's going on, Mike?
Not much. I just woke up, man. I love your content, by the way.
Thank you,
But
brother. I appreciate it.
I usually work at night, so I'm glad I caught your live. But as far as what's going on, and by the way, it is definitely 100% 217 that he needs to get, not 218.
All right,
And
cool. 217.
yeah, they are. I am really ashamed of what they're doing right now with all the stuff going in the world, because we can't get anything done. We can't help out Israel. We can't help out or get anything of our agenda passed if they don't have a speaker. So I don't know what's going on with them, man.
All right. So if they can't pick out a speaker of the house, then that
Listen,
means go ahead.
literally, no bills can be passed. Nothing can be done.
So what strategy are the Republicans using right now, knowing good and well that they need 218 votes? They decided 20 people decided to vote for other names that weren't on the that weren't on the table to be voted for. What was that strategy about?
I think that what Jim Jordan does is he has to, just like McCarthy did, he has to go around to each individual and try to
W-
talk them into voting for him.
So he has the will and deal. So that's
Yeah,
their
exactly.
way of saying that I'm still going to vote for you, but you got to earn this vote. You got to do something for me, and I'll do
Yeah,
something for you.
that's exactly what happened last time. And that's why McCarthy got ousted with one vote, one single vote, because that's what Gates wanted in order for him to give McCarthy his vote.
Okay.
Because before it took a majority party to oust a speaker, but then when the Republicans took the House, um, they wanted the rules changed, and so when Matt Gates wouldn't give his vote, and he said, "Unless you did this for me," and there was a
Okay.
bunch of other things that they wanted from the speaker in order to get their vote. And a lot of the times they won't even vote for them; they'll just mark as present. So if they mark as present, that 217 number goes down.
Oh, okay.
And, and also, I learned that last time people did vote or elect Donald Trump, but we learned after the fact that because Donald Trump has been charged with things, that he's not eligible. Just because he's been charged, he's not eligible to be the House Speaker.
Okay. All
So
right. Okay, I understand that. I understand that. I mean, I think it's a BS rule because
I
of course
agree. I agree.
they're going to lean on him being charged. That's why they was trying to get him charged so that he won't
Exactly.
be eligible for anything. They don't want him to be
Yep.
eligible for a damn thing. So I get that.
Yep.
So how do you so you the way that you look at it all from your knowledge of it, you look at them holding their votes as a smart thing.
Well, no, I don't think it's smart because, um, I mean, I guess on an individual basis, if you're wanting to get certain things done. But as a party as a whole, we've seen that it's been nothing but chaos. So
Mm,
um, the Democrats are able to get more of their agenda pushed because they all stick together
it
every
seems that way.
time.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
Yep.
But it only seems that way in comparison to some of the things I'm seeing from the right when it comes to you all having to stick together. And I say you all because I'm leaning conservative. I've been registered as a Republican for the last 12 years, but I've only voted Democrat because I thought that was going to be like a Trojan horse way. See, I got behind the door. I voted. I still voted for Obama, but they thought I was Republican. Nah, but now my way of thinking is nowhere near that at all. But I don't see I see them potentially shooting themselves in the foot if they continue to play Texas Hold'em with their votes.
Here's the thing though, and I was thinking that the first time, but I don't think you're going to get one of those Republicans. It doesn't matter if they can't even vote for Jim Jordan. They're not going to vote for Hakeem Jeffries. They're just not
Okay.
going to. So I don't see Hakeem winning it. I thought the same thing during the McCarthy vote, but I don't see any of I don't see Hakeem Jeffries swaying any of the Republicans to vote for him. Not one, even if they're Rhino. I don't see that happening. So it seems like we're just going to go in this circle round and round until every one of those holdouts gives a little bit to or Jim Jordan gives something to each one of those holdouts.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for your take, brother. I appreciate you coming up and giving me your take, my man.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, peace, brother.
Later.
All right, so there you have it. We had one gentleman up here, Mike. Now we got Shantavia. What's up, Shantavia? Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Can't complain. No need to.
I
No.
just want to tell you that I really like your channel.
Oh wow.
I love the perspective that you give on everything. It's great, and I love that you're learning. You're willing to learn.
Well, thank
I
you. I
just want to
appreciate it.
give a little bit of perspective on
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Um, what we saw last week with McCarthy being ousted and the 8 Republicans being demonized in the press, which shows you more of that McCarthy was not for the people. If the
Okay.
press is backing you and everybody's backing you, there's got to be something there. But what you saw was 8 Republicans holding him accountable for not listening to the will of the people, right?
Oh, okay. All right.
Because that was what we wanted. We want single issue votes. We want term limits in Congress. We don't want to keep funding these foreign wars. So they held out to make sure that we get what we want as constituents. They were listening to their constituents, right?
All right. Uh-huh.
No party on this. I agree. They should be party line because we need to hold control of the business of the House,
Okay.
right? But at no other point should a party be in lockstep on every issue. If they're in lockstep on every issue that's put on the floor and every agenda, then they're not working for you
Absolutely.
because they're there to represent their districts. Each district is different. They have different environments, different economic issues, and they're supposed to represent the needs of their district, not a party. So if they're all in lockstep, they're not working for you.
Okay. All right.
That's my take on it.
Well,
And go ahead.
no. I appreciate that perspective. That makes a whole lot of sense because when I look at it, I'm just thinking, okay, if they all just voted together and just they can handle all of the other stuff that they need to handle after the fact, but it don't really work that way. So I
hmm
got you on that. I got you.
This way, it's good. They should vote party line, but the issue is that there are certain things that we, the constituents, want from the speaker. And those who are holding out and trying to hold them accountable in our party are making sure that the people's needs are being heard. What we want, not what the party want, not what the establishments want, not what Democrats want, but what we, the people, sent them there to do. I appreciate that. And I'll stand behind them for in the face of adversity and all the name calling they're getting and all the flack they're getting, they're standing up for our voices. Because again, we want, and I saw another video where you asked what was an omnibus bill. Did you ever get an answer to that?
No.
Okay. An omnibus bill, this is what our Congress has been doing. Their job is to balance our budget. That is their job, to appropriate funds and to balance the budget. They haven't balanced the budget since 1970 something, okay?
Ooh.
What they've been doing is passing continuing resolutions, which is whatever we've been funding before, we'll just keep funding that and add in some more stuff, okay? But what they've been funding is the omnibus bill, which is where they put everything that the government wants to fund, essential stuff and crappy stuff, all in a bill, and they vote up or down. So
Wow.
in those bills, you don't just have funding for veterans. You have 10 million for gender studies in Pakistan. You have 1.1 million to make a metal glove to see if they can snap their finger like Thanos. You have
Wow.
2.2 million to study pigeons on cocaine. You have another couple million to study birds getting drunk. Okay? That's the kind of stuff that they put in the bills to pass. In this particular one, Jerry Nadler wants $8 million to widen the sidewalk in front of his house.
What?
AOC wants I think 7 million to widen a walking trail, which I bet you is one that she walks. So they're willing to, and Democrats will get on there and say, oh, Republicans want to cut Medicare, they want to cut food stamps, well, maybe if you cut this funding for studying pigeons on cocaine, we'd have money for these programs. You see what I'm
Wow.
saying? And in the
Yes.
omnibus bill, they put that all together and they just say, yes or no, we're going to fund it. Single issue bills means that every single thing that they want to fund, they have to put it on a separate bill by itself and they vote on it. That way, we the people get to see what they are actually spending our money on and who's voting to spend it that way.
Wow. Now all of the other all the other things that you named, and first of all, I want to tell you, you are on point. I love it. You are breaking it down to me. Thank you so much. All those things you named, is that considered pork?
Yes, that's the pork, the stuff that doesn't mean anything, okay? And then they also will put in there, when they have that big bill all together, they'll come out and they don't work on the because they have all year to work on the budget. And they wait until 11:59, the deadline night, and then they use scare tactics such as they're going to cut this, they're going to cut funding for veterans, they're going to cut Medicaid, so the people are like, just sign it.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we want to go back to pre-COVID spending. Our budget was $4 trillion. After COVID, it went up to $6 trillion, which means we're running a $2 trillion deficit each year. They're not willing to take that $2 trillion off the table, even though we're over budget and we're borrowing that money from China. So we're borrowing this money from another country and they're blowing it. And this is my analogy of it, and this will help you to understand. Our national debt has not gone down. It keeps going up. I don't care how many budgets they pass, none of that deficit goes down, right? I look at it as your friend tells you, I need money to pay my rent, my car note, I need groceries. So you go and you borrow money to give your friend to pay their bills, and they take that money, and instead of paying their bills, they go to the strip club with their friends and make it rain and
Oh
pop bottles.
nah. Oh nah.
Then they
Oh
come back
nah.
to you and say, I need more money, otherwise I'm going to be evicted and my lights are going to get shut off, and it's going to happen tomorrow, and I got 3 kids in the house, and you're like, oh my God, I can't let the babies be in the dark.
Wow.
So you go
Wow.
and borrow more money and give it to them, and again, they spend it with their friends at the strip club and pop bottles. We are
Wow.
not benefiting from these budgets that they're passing. I haven't seen any infrastructure. The schools are still trash. The roads are still trash. Inflation is out of control. Gas prices is high. They can shut the government down as far as I'm concerned. I don't want them to spend another dollar until they pass a budget.
So they're just playing with us. They're
They
playing
are
with our
playing with us.
heartstrings, and they're just throwing
They are
propaganda in
playing,
front of
yes.
us so they can control us.
Yes, and most of the money that they put for foreign aid, that money gets laundered right back into their pockets. They use NGOs and non-government organizations, and instead of them putting that money directly into the government's hand, directly to get to the people, it goes through all of these different organizations and it ends up laundered back and kicked back to these politicians. They're robbing us blind while still not taking care of any of our needs.
Shantavia, you are so on point. I really appreciate you. Like seriously,
So I don't care if this government ever opened. Nothing what they'll tell you they want to cut school funding. Your school district does not need federal dollars to run because your state is responsible for your school budget. They take federal dollars and then they get stipulations from the government like you have to have all gender locker rooms. You have to let people use the bathroom where they want it. That's what that federal funding comes with so they can keep it and keep the federal government out of your school districts and fund them with the state like it's supposed to be, your income taxes. No school is going to close down because the federal government is not involved in its funding. No program is going to shut down because the government is not giving dollars, okay? That's what your state government is for.
I'm just
I'm
smiling.
sorry, I get passionate about this
Listen,
stuff.
listen,
And
it's
I
all
want people to understand how it works.
well. Well, thank you so much. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Are you on YouTube mostly, or you have other platforms that you frequent?
I'm mostly on YouTube. I watch certain people on YouTube. I watch a lot of
Okay.
TikTok. I
Okay.
just recently found you on TikTok.
Oh, sorry about that. My TikTok is trash.
Oh, I just saw that I said, oh, he has a TikTok too. But mostly it's YouTube because I like listening to the debates. I
Okay.
like getting in the comments and trying to inform people because a lot of people don't understand how our government is supposed to function. And if you don't know how it's supposed to function and what the powers of the government is, then you don't know when your rights are being violated. You don't know when they're overreaching. You don't know when they're not doing their job. And it's easy for you to be manipulated. Everybody needs to know how their government works and who to hold accountable for what they are responsible for. If you don't know what every branch is responsible for, you don't know who to hold accountable when things are going wrong. Which is why you have a lot of people in our community who everything that goes wrong, they blame Republicans, but not a Republican runs anything in the city of Chicago and
Preach.
hasn't for
Preach.
decades.
Preach. That's why when I checked out that video of Chicagoans going in on the mayor and going in on everybody else that that are working for them directly about the whole immigration situation, all I kept saying was, "You voted for that."
Yeah. Yes, and it's because they listen to the feel good messages and they don't listen to because they don't think that these people are the ones accountable. Like most of them will argue about police brutality on like it's the all of America, when if you really look at it, these police brutality and these police shootings usually happen in Democrat cities or Democrat states, right? Your mayor and your city council is who is responsible for your police department and their policies and their procedures. The president has nothing to do with that. Congress has nothing to do with that. That's who you hold accountable. But you'll keep voting in the same mayor, you'll keep voting in the same city council, and then you get mad at the rest of the country because you didn't do your due diligence. You don't know how your government functions, okay? You can't be mad at the rest of the country because your schools are not functioning correctly. How many PTA meetings do you go to? How many times do you look at the budget? How many times do you look at your city budget? Now they're all showing up to these city council meetings, but they're arguing over a park while they're giving them $9,000 for rent assistance, while they're putting people out of Section 8 to make room for housing for them, while they're giving them $1,000 in food stamps while you can't feed your family. While these schools have closed all across the country, they closed schools in inner cities because they said they couldn't afford to fund them. And now they're opening them back up to make them shelters, and y'all are worried about a park? Like, and y'all voted for this because these Democrats were not secret when they were saying they wanted to be sanctuary cities, that they wanted to welcome everybody. And y'all called the border state people racist. We didn't want to brown up America. We was just scared of more brown people coming into the country. And the wall was racist because it didn't affect you. It didn't come to your doorstep. So you didn't care about the rest of the country and what it could do to the rest of the country. But when it came on your doorstep, now you're looking for the rest of the country to come to your rescue. And we warned you. We told you that this was coming. For like 4 years, I kept telling Black people in my community, if y'all keep siding with this immigration, they're going to put them in the communities that are already underserved and overpopulated. So the little piece of your little resources that you have, you're going to have to split with all of them, which means that your food stamps are going to get cut. They're going to be at the head of the line for housing. They're going to be the head of the line for education. Y'all already complaining about the overcrowding in schools. Your schools are going to be overcrowded. And then these kids don't speak English, so it's going to slow up the education of your child. I didn't know what I was talking about then, but now they see that it's happening in New York. They had to turn children away on the first day of school because they didn't have room. And you now look to everybody else, and now you want somebody to come and rescue when this was all from your own hard-headedness, your own lack of due diligence on what you are voting for. You listen to these feel-good speeches from these Democrats, but every policy that they put forth is destructive to you and your community. It has brought you nothing positive. It has not lifted anything up, built anything, brought anything. But you keep pointing the finger at Republicans, and Republicans don't run where you live. They're not responsible for a dollar that come through there. They're not responsible for a policy, a program, a law, a statute, nothing. In Chicago, the mayor is Black. The chief of police is Black. The chief of the fire department is Black. The city council is Black. The school board is Black. So tell me, where are these white supremacists that's holding you down and where y'all don't have no power and it's Republicans' fault?
Ooh.
And yet you will keep voting for these people. Look how long it took them to vote Lori Lightfoot out. And then they got somebody who was, and do you know they're also going to be bringing communist grocery stores to Chicago? Government-owned grocery stores, because they cannot get businesses to stay there with grocery stores in them. So now the government is going to own the grocery stores there.
Yep.
Black people will vote themselves right back into slavery if the words that come with it make them feel good.
Listen to me. Hey, that was who y'all are listening to is Shantavia of the LFR family.
And you try to tell them, but they want to call you coon. They want to call you Uncle Tom, and you spouting white supremacist talking points when they are actually the ones who are spouting the white supremacist talking points. Everything that they spew out of their mouth is racist, and it's of that party of racists. And they weaponize it against everybody else. They have weaponized your trauma. They have weaponized your skin color. They have weaponized whatever it is that y'all want to say y'all going through so that they can punish the rest of society. And when they done punishing the rest of society, they going to turn it right back around on you, and y'all going to find yourselves in slavery. Slaves to the government. And they don't want to listen because they think they know everything. They think they know everything.
Well, let me tell you something. First of all, I want to say thank you for your addition to today's broadcast. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to get to other callers, but please,
I know, I'm sorry, I get
just
long winded,
no,
but I get very
please.
passionate about this, and it's a lot of stuff that I be wanting to get out.
It's all good. And anytime you see me live, please pull up. Please, please,
Okay,
please pull up. Love you.
thank
You enjoy
you.
the rest of your
Yeah.
day.
You too. Thank
Uh,
you.
Later, bye. All right, so that was Shantavia of the Elephant family. George, what's going on, brother?
Hey man,
How you
how you
doing, my
guys?
man? You just so cool and
Doing,
you chilling. How you doing, brother?
doing good, doing really good. No, that last speaker, what love her to death. I don't know her from Adam, but I a lot of love to her and what she just spoke all the truth. You know, there's nothing like facts. You know,
Yes, 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 yes. All right, so what do you think about today's I guess situation with the House of the Speaker of the House vote?
it's hard to add to what she just said, but I pretty much right along with what she's saying. I mean, but I agree with everything she said because it's we need one subject bills is the problem. I mean, because they all behind the scenes they're politicians. That's why I love Donald Trump so much. He's a politician, but the politicians that's what all they do 25, 30, 40 years in business.
Okay. We're having technical issues with George. Oh, there we go. Are we back? We back? We back? George, can you hear me, brother? Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. George. Paging Jorge. Paging Jorge. All right, so we're gonna go to Kim, and we'll be back with George. As soon as I said we're gonna go with Kim, she left. She goes. She's back. What's going on, Kim? How are you?
Good. I just wanted to add to what the previous person was saying, and it's up to all of us to get in our local communities, our churches, and let them know what's going on, and then to reach out together as a coalition to say that these things are acceptable and these things are not acceptable. And everybody bears personal responsibility on contacting their elected officials, campaigning for people that are fit for the job. And if you choose not to do that, then it's on you. You get the government you vote for, you get the government you work for. And if you don't work for the government you want, then you get what you get.
I agree 1000%. What do you say to the people though, who are so brainwashed, believing every single thing that their lovely politicians that they voted into office claim is the truth, and they just eat it all up because they don't want to look into anything else? They say, "Look, we voted you in to do the job. We trust you to do it, but even if you're not doing it, if they say that you're not doing it, we're going to say that they're lying because you told us that you're doing the job." You just think that everyone need to be more involved, is what you're saying, or just shut up.
Well, some people you're never gonna reach. Some people are never gonna want to listen. Some people have closed ears and closed eyes and they're never gonna listen to you. But other people who are uninformed, not observant, they're busy in their own lives, maybe they will listen to you. And it's your responsibility to take it to your community, the people that know you best, that know your judgment, and to tell them what's going on.
When did you start getting into politics, Kim? Like really start to pay attention to what's going on? All right, guys. So we're having some technical issues with some of our people, some of our callers that are calling in. It's all good. What I do want to say is that the information that she gave is absolutely spot on. If you want to know more, then do more. Do some due diligence. Do your own homework. Like the people on my live streams tell me all the time, Van, do your own research, do your own homework. But as the first young lady would say, it's certain things that I don't know until I know. And doing your homework means starting from where, going where. Like somebody that's just now starting to get into politics and whatnot. How could I know about all of the pork that's being sold to people where they're trying to put like the main narrative, not the main source of help or anything like that, but the main narrative that they want to paint. They're putting that in front of us. And just so they can sell us a politician to lead the charge. So it's not Shantavia, it's Shantavia. Yeah, Everett Williams is saying it correctly. So we should probably just shit. I don't even know what to say, man. 2,000 for a toilet seat. We all got to do our due diligence and stop believing everything that they push forward. At the end of the day, yeah, I am, because it's a whole lot to learn, man. But I'm here for it. I'm here to learn it, whatever the case may be. I'm here to learn it. What's going on, Lauren? How are you doing? Guys, remember, the invite is still up. If you want to join me and give me your 2 pennies on voter of the house, Alicia Savage. What's going on? Thank you so much for pulling up. Can you give us the link for people to call? It's up here. It's already I pinned it. The link is right there. Yeah. It's a pinned link right up top. You can feel free to hit that and join me. Oh, whoa. Did the governor show up again? Are you here? Uh-oh. We got the governor back. What's going on,
Can you hear
Shantae?
me?
We
Okay, I was
can
just
hear you
listening to you
perfectly.
again, and I want to tell you this.
Okay.
It is important that you read bills for yourself. It's
Read bills.
tedious work, but you can go to congress.gov. You can pull up any bill, past or present. You can see bills that they haven't even brought to the floor yet that they are thinking of bringing to the floor. You can see how they've moved through committees, all of that, who sponsored the bill, everything. But this is another little tidbit that you probably didn't know. Did you know that the name of the bill does not even have to correlate with what's actually in the bill?
No, I didn't. And why would they do that?
They can name a bill anything that they want. So they use these titles to say, oh, we have to fund our fair and free election bill. And in the bill, it takes away everybody's right to vote. It could say,
Wow.
this is the freedom for everybody bill. And in the bill, it says that they can come to your house, drag you out, and put you in shackles and make you a slave. Okay? So they can name it anything that they want. That's why it's imperative that you read them yourself so you can know what's in them.
All right, and what's the website
And
again where
another
the
good
bills
thing,
are?
congress.gov.
Congress.gov.
hmm Learn the government websites. You can go to the Department of Justice and look at any reports they've done, any investigations they're doing, indictments. You can.
Hold on. Do not see the devil is trying to break up this conversation. We not having it. The devil is a lie. Satan, you're lying. Move, Satan. Shantavia, can you hear me? You see that? You see, this is what happens when we're sharing the truth in the booth like we're missing the tooth. Huh? Paige and Shantavia. Paige and Shantavia. Dang it. Dang it. Make sure you come back, please, because you are speaking some real stuff that we really need. For real. I'm on daggone congress.gov right now, trying to figure out how to navigate through this bad boy. I'm about to put it up here so we all can see it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Because we're going to get to the bottom of this. No longer will we be sheep to the government, to the man. Only people we sheep for is the Lord. Huh? We are sheep for Jesus. Hallelujah. Yesterday in Congress, bill text, committee schedule, floor calendars, House floor activities, committee hearing videos, on the Senate floor, communications to the Senate, nominations, treaty documents. Yeah. See, browse. Look this up. Glossary, legislation, congressional record. See, yeah, this is definitely going to be tedious. I don't even know how to navigate through it. Routine proceedings. Let's see here. Shantavia, you back? Yeah, I can hear you. I'm about to pull you back up on stage, and give me 1 second. There we go. All right, so I got the Congress.gov up right now. I have Shantavia back on the line. I'm sorry, you go ahead now. We lost you. Your
Okay.
connections.
Another good thing to do is watch the debates on the floor. That's another way that you find out what's in the bills. And you see how we're watching this vote?
Yeah.
I have watched last time that we had a government shutdown, the one that lasted like the 30 something days when Trump was in office.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Democrats complain about people being on food lines, people losing their houses, that we need to pay the government employees, we need to pay the military. Do you know that the Republicans put forth a standalone bill to pay government employees during the shutdown, and every Democrat voted no on it, and then went right outside of the chambers to the cameras and said they need to open the government up. Government
Wow.
employees need to feed their families, and they voted no to do that. They did the same thing with the military. They will vote because they know their constituents don't pay attention. They only listen to what's being said.
Wow.
So it's those
Wow.
things are any investigation they do in Congress, they put out a report. You can find that on congress.gov. Any of the FBI investigations, when they do IG reports, those are all on. I mean, it's just so closed door testimony transcripts. You can find all of that stuff.
Now I'm on Congress.gov right now. And I'm gonna be honest with you.
If you want to look up a bill, you search the resolution number or whatever, or you can even try to search for types of names of the bills, and
Okay.
it should come up.
Now, what if you don't have a resolution number or a name for the bill?
You
and you just
try
wanted
to filter out words like what you think the bill is about, and it'll kind of maybe find it for you. And you
Okay.
can also do that in your state government. Your state government functions just like Washington. You have a Congress made up of a House and a Senate, and your governor is like the president. The House and Senate pass bills, and it goes to the governor's desk to be signed into law.
Have you ever been in why aren't you in politics? Are you in politics at all?
I am not in politics.
Why
And I
not?
will tell you, I did not get this involved in politics until Donald Trump.
Wow. Wow.
And it made me pay attention.
what
I
about
carry a pocket constitution with me because I want to know what this is something that people don't understand either. Do you know if Joe Biden gets impeached, per Article 2, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution, his whole administration goes with him?
what?
Yes. And people keep trying to argue me on it, and I keep telling them it's in the Constitution. It's a short paragraph. Look it up. Article 2, Section 4 of the United States Constitution, if the president, because we have not had a president that has been fully impeached. So then if he has to resign or he has to step down, then the vice president takes his place. But if the president is impeached in the House and found guilty in the Senate and is fully impeached, his whole administration goes with him.
What's the likelihood of something like that happening though?
Oh, I hope it's good for this one. So, and another thing is the Constitution clearly lays out the powers of each branch of government. If it's not in the Constitution, they don't have the authority. And the only way they get the authority is if you give it to them. In government, your consent is like telling them that things are okay. Compliance is consent. If you comply or you don't make a fuss about things, you have consented to what they're doing. The only way they cannot take rights from you, the only way that rights leave is if you surrender them, and you surrender them by complying with non-constitutional directives and orders. And it's an individual thing. You as an individual have to assert your rights when they're being violated. It's not a group activity.
Wow. Now I have a question for you, because you
Hmm.
have a plethora of information when it comes to this right here. When it comes to politics, how long have you been, like you said, Trump started it off for you before Trump ran for president or
Before I
became
had an
president?
interest. I had an interest, but I thought I knew. I thought I knew what was going on because I watched CNN every day.
Ah, so
Okay.
CNN is where you got your news before. After Trump
Yes,
was
from the hanging chads in Florida, I was watching CNN all the way up until, I will tell you, because I was very busy. Very busy. I had a demanding career and I was very busy. So I only had time to check in every now and then, right?
right.
But I was on vacation and I had CNN on while I was moving into a new house, while I was unpacking, and I noticed all day, every segment, all they talked about was Trump. And they all had the same talking points. It was just panels set up talking about the same thing, about something that Trump said. And after 3 days of that, I said, this is a national news station. Ain't nothing else going on in the world. I mean, like, this man can't be this terrible.
Right.
And I made up in my mind that I would, the next time that they said that he had a speech or something, I would watch it for myself and not just watch the clip on CNN. And it was during the time where they were saying that he said that Mexicans were rapists and murderers.
Right.
And I had watched that press conference. And while I was watching, I was saying, okay, he hasn't said anything bad. I agree with what he's saying. I said, well, let me go see what CNN says. Trump says that, Mexicans are rapists and murderers. I'm like, that's not what he said. So I went to social media and all my friends and stuff are repeating it. And I'm trying to tell them that's not what he said. I just watched it. And so then I realized that they had been manipulating what he was saying. And it made me think, what else had they told me that wasn't true? So I thought about everything that they had said about him. And I went and found those original press conferences, those original speeches, and I watched them for myself.
Wow.
And then I went down this rabbit hole of information. And I've been there ever since. And when it came to the news, I remember I was waiting for a report and they were saying, I said, okay, I'm going to print out the report myself. I'm going to see how CNN reports on it. I'm going to see how Fox News reports on it. And then I'm going to read it myself. And then I'm going to come to my own conclusion. And I came to the conclusion that CNN was lying through their teeth. And I did that with every report, everything that came out. I read the source material myself. And that's how I realized that they had been lying all this time. And then I started to see how the Democrat Party lies so much. If their mouth is open, they're lying.
Wow. If their
It, it,
mouth
it,
is
it, it,
open, they're lying.
yes. They can't tell the truth to save their life. It's all about optics because they seek power and anything in the pursuit of that power. I told people 2 years before the election, watching the way that they were behaving, that Democrats will burn this country down in order to maintain power. They will burn it to the ground. We're expendable to them in their pursuit of power. I told people that when the riots were going on and they were tearing down statues and all of the rhetoric that was going on, their ultimate goal is the Constitution. They hate the Constitution. But first they like to walk you there. They can't just come out the box and say, this is what we want to do. They walk you slowly there with the changing of your culture and your mindset, right? So if they've got all of these people first thinking that the founding fathers is racist and the Constitution is, they were slave owners and we built on racism, the only logical step is that eventually they're going to tell us that our Constitution is racist and that
Wow.
we should do away with that.
Which has already started.
Exactly. But I called this 3-4 years ago.
Wow. Wow, get
With this
out of
whole
here.
transgender debate 3-4 years ago, I was telling people they're infringing on women's spaces. Why don't they just, I don't understand, why does the argument have to be either in our bathroom or out? Why have they never fought for their own space, for their own sport category? Why do they have to infringe on ours? This whole debate about children and them being able to consent to whether or not they think they're a boy or a girl, that's not what the argument really is. The argument is age of consent. If they can get you to agree that a 4-year-old is capable of making the decision to change their gender, then they can then move you into the direction of saying that that child is also capable of consenting to sex.
How would that benefit the Democrats?
Because they're pedophiles, okay? All of the things that they're trying to teach in school is grooming, it's child grooming.
Wow.
Look at the laws that they're passing in California that give all this leeway to people who have, well, I don't want to keep saying these words because I don't want to get you banned and struck on YouTube. But that is what it's about. They're after the children. They want to corrupt the next generation. That's what all this indoctrination is in school, because then they will have raised up a generation that believe we're a democracy and not a republic, that believes in collectivism instead of individualism, that thinks our country is racist, that all Black people are oppressed. You know, why would you want your school teaching your child that no matter what they do, it won't be good enough because of the color of their skin?
I've always
Then you
wondered that.
raise a generation of children that won't even want to try. Why try?
Because they expect for everything to be handed to them because of all of their ailments and how much of a
And they
victim
won't
they
even
are.
try to succeed. And you've given them a forever crutch to not succeed. You can't speak that kind of stuff. I'm glad my child is older, but you can't even speak that kind of stuff to my kid. If I had a child in school now, I'd be under somebody's jail with the stuff they're trying to teach.
Yeah, you know what's wild? My children have a hard time going along with that narrative as well, because I do allow them to think for themselves. And thank
Hmm.
guys for the super chats. Thank you so much for the super chats, guys. I appreciate it. John and who is that? My bad. And Mr. Sadie, thank you so much. First of all, the people love you because it seems like you're not coming from feelings at all. You're coming from nothing but facts. And but there are people still out there who will paint you as being brainwashed. How's that
Well,
possible?
what their opinion of me has nothing to do with my opinion of myself. I know that what
Amen.
I'm speaking is truth. And like I tell people that in, like the last lady said, you have to talk to the people in your community and this. And I talk to I have changed a lot of mine and red pilled a lot of people just by making them answer the questions themselves and think based on what I know about them, that you can't be thinking that none of this stuff is okay. And you have to look at where things lead you, right? I tell them, if you gonna come and debate me on the topic, you gotta have more than what you heard on CNN. Okay. I know what I know and I stand 10 toes down on what I'm saying because I know what I know.
Why in the hell don't you have a YouTube channel?
I don't know.
I'm so
But
serious. I'm so serious because the amount of research you've done leans toward like your confidence is not for nothing. My confidence, as far as being a content creator, all comes from entertaining and trying to
mhm.
learn and those type of things. But I will say that if I was as knowledgeable as you when it comes to politics, I would be on fire. I would probably be
Mhm.
going live every day for like 5 hours at a time and just be talking if I had your level of understanding with regard to,
People tell me that, they say I can listen to you all day when I'm talking to just people because I get passionate and you see how I just go on and on.
which is appreciated, I must say.
But it changes people's perspective. Like I was having a conversation with my niece who's, a millennial, and she said in she said, wow, You just got me to really understand why individual rights are so important. Just going on and trying to get her to understand the importance of our form of government and the Constitution and why it's important. Another thing that people have to pay attention to is when they're trying to change the definition of things. That is a very big deal because language matters in government and law.
Now,
And
which what?
if they change the
Mhm,
meaning of words,
mhm.
they change the meaning in law. Later on down the line, people won't remember what it used to mean. They only know what it means now. So then law is reinterpreted.
Do you have an example of that happening right now?
Um, what I could say is I used to tell people, do you remember the argument that the Democrats kept trying to bring forth of how we should remove terminology like Negro from different laws,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. I tried to tell people then you don't want to do that because that was the language of that time when the law was created. So the intention of the law is directed to what these people were at this time, right?
Right.
Because you
Right.
always want to fall back to the original intent when laws were created and
Right.
who they were to affect. If they remove Negro, then you have just effectively removed all of the rights that they've set forth for you.
Wow.
They try to make you think that the 14th Amendment debate about um, illegals not being granted birthright citizenship, they put that because they weaponized black people. And they got black people thinking that now that means they're going to deport them too, which is ridiculous. But the 14th Amendment was put in place specifically for slaves and their descendants. That is your birthright. And Democrats are using it to allow the world to come in and basically take the resources and the things that were fought and died for you. And you're just handing that over to other people who haven't earned it. And I try to get them to understand that Black Americans are like no other Black on the earth. You are born with rights, and they're trying to make you believe that you are separate from, not a part of, and these things. You are American before you are anything else. And with that Americanism comes certain rights and privileges that other people don't get, and you're just allowing them to lump you in together with people who haven't earned this and
Wow.
then put you at the back of the line to receive it just because they share the same skin color, but they don't have the same history in this country. And I'm not going back to 1619 and none of that stuff, but we do have a unique history in this country,
Yeah.
and certain things were written specifically for us.
Is
Like
representation
affirmative action is not its thing if now it applies to all of these other people, it dilutes it. And it's easy to deny it to you because now it applies to everybody else. Civil rights is now somehow afforded to the alphabet community. And now the same people who you said oppressed you are now reaping the benefits of a law that was supposed to equalize you in some way, right? It's the
um,
same thing with feminism and this transgender thing. Feminism is supposed to be about women uplifting and being equal to men and having what men have, but now you have went full circle, and now men who just put on wigs are now allowed to take everything that you fought for.
wow. I'm with you 1000%. I'm with you
So you have
1000%.
effectively just erased all the years of that work that you did because now you have put men back in a dominant space.
All the rights that all the things that women fought for so that you guys could have the rights that you deserve.
Hmm.
You're
Yep,
now
they're taking your
backing.
position,
Yep.
sports, locker rooms, bathrooms, your
Which could
safety.
but which couldn't happen without the support of actual women. So they said it.
Exactly. And that's the brainwashing. See, you can't brainwash me because I see it for what it is. You can't pee on my head and tell me it's raining, right? I saw this a mile away. Why should I have to compromise my safety to make you feel safe? Why should I have to compromise? Because that's what the left is constantly asking of everybody else, to compromise their feelings to make them feel comfortable, right? This whole pronoun thing, you don't have the right to tell me what I have to call you, right? You have the right
Ooh, you starting
to
something
be
when you say that.
able, you have the right to be able to identify however you like, but
Right.
you don't have the right to compel my speech to make it happen. Just because I think I'm the Queen of Sheba, I cannot come in then and demand that everybody call me Your Highness, because that's how I feel. Okay?
Wow.
And
Wow.
I can't be offended because other people don't feel that way and then try to make the world move out of my way to not hurt my feelings. The world is tough.
So all of them politicians on the Democrat side. I mean, well, of course, there's a lot on the Republican side too. They're playing the game. It's not about the people
Hmm.
for the most part. It's
You have
about
these
power.
rhinos who are effectively Democrats and they pose in the party and they're there to hinder the Republican movement, the conservative movement, right? And they sit back and they wait because I've been watching them. They do just enough to keep getting elected, but when the Democrats really need them in a clutch, they vote with them.
Wow.
And then that's usually when they're exposed. But they will lay there and wait until they're really needed in a clutch. Kevin McCarthy was there to make sure that impeachment didn't go too far. He was a gatekeeper for the establishment
Wow. And Matt
because
Gates
he
knew that.
slow walked all of the evidence and the information that they have. And he kept saying, well, we don't know if there's enough there. They've been investigating for 4 or 5 years. There are Senate reports with receipts on everything. They impeached Trump for way less. Okay.
Wow.
So,
So
I mean, it's
essentially,
just, hmm,
essentially, Democrats have the power right now.
they do. They do, and they run their party, and that's another thing too that I wish that our black people would see. All of the Democrats in that party, the black Democrats, the black caucus, are puppets for the establishment Democrats because they don't do anything or fight for anything for the betterment or for those communities. They are there to keep pushing the agenda of what the establishment Democrats want. And the only way that they get to keep power is if they tote that line. Okay? And remember, I said that no party should be toting the line in lockstep because each district needs different things. And they do it because of the comfort that they are afforded in being in these roles. They get to live in nice houses and go to fancy parties and have nice bank accounts and have all of this power that they have. But I want somebody to tell me a bill of any significance that any member of the Congressional Black Caucus has passed in the last 50 years.
Wow.
What has Auntie Maxine done? What has Sheila Jackson Lee done? What bill have they passed that fights for you? Because that's why y'all keep voting for them, because they supposedly fighting for y'all. What significant piece of legislation has the Congressional Black Caucus got together, worked out, written out, ironed out, and presented on the congressional floor for a vote, and then sent to the president's desk to sign? And they've been serving and getting voted in over and over again for 30, 40 years.
Simply because
They're black.
they're black. Wow.
That's it. And they forget these people work for you. There's no way I keep hiring and they didn't do their job. They work for us. They are there. These congressmen represent a district. They are in Washington to secure funding for the needs of your district. So when they go to Washington, they are supposed to present things on the floor to say, hey, I need this for my district. My district needs this. We need more funding so we can build these schools, make these, all that stuff that y'all, rec centers, whatever it is y'all saying that y'all need. That's what they're there for. They're not there to push the president's policy across Cleveland and call people racist. And that's not what they're there for. They're there to secure what you need in your district. They don't represent the country. They don't represent the state. They represent your district. And if your district still looks the same or worse than it did 30 years ago when this person held office, you need to get rid of them and get rid of them quickly, because they're not doing their job. And if they are securing the funding and you're not seeing any change, then they're ripping y'all off.
Wow.
Where's the money?
Where's the money? Follow the money. Always follow the money. Always follow the money. I have a question for you. And sorry to keep on asking you questions. I just love the way
Nope.
that you.
Hopefully I have an answer.
Nah, based off of what just facts and facts alone. Facts and facts alone, per usual. That's all you've been giving me, actually. What has Joe Biden done for the country that have black people specifically fighting for this man?
Because they're Democrats, that's it. For
Just
some reason, the Democrat Party has this strange hold over black people to where they cannot see the fault. Because remember, I told you earlier, whatever goes wrong, they still point the finger at Republicans. And if you point out that something was specifically done by the Democrat Party, then they say, oh, it was both parties. Then they want to say somehow they want to throw it's Republicans in it. Everything that black people complain about happened in this country. Slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow laws, redlining, segregation, all of those were Democrat policies. Every one of them. So you have to tell me, when did this party switch happen? Because they were pushing these same all the way up through the 90s. All of this stuff come from the Democrat Party. So you have to tell me, when did the party switch? Because it couldn't have been in the 60s during the Civil Rights Act, because they ran the longest filibuster to keep that from happening.
Hey,
So they didn't
Shantavia.
even want to vote for that. So when did this magical switch happen?
wow.
Miss Shantavia.
You have to tell me when it happened and who switched.
They won't tell you that. They're
I
not gonna
know.
tell you that. Mike has
I
a
know, but
question.
I don't understand what it is, because, and especially knowing Joe Biden's history, it's not a secret. And then when you tell them, they're like, oh, well, that happened long ago. But y'all still talking about the Central Park Five with
Exactly.
Trump and what his daddy did when he was a little boy. I mean, make it
Still
make
talking about
sense.
hotels. Still talking about hotels and black people with Trump and all that other stuff. But they
And you know where I tell people when they go to that Trumpist racist, okay, we can, once I tell them all the things that the racist things that Biden say even up until now, we can cancel that out, that they're racist. What else do you have? Well, I'll concede. Okay, both of them are racist. Both of them are white. What else can you give me that makes Joe Biden a better candidate? Because I can name the things that I liked about Trump as a president. Because I considered voting for him before I had fell into the CNN trap of him being racist and stuff. Because, like I said, I was busy. But when I looked at his platform on his website, I said, oh, this sounds good. I think I may vote for him. But then I fell for the, he's racist and all of this stuff. And I ended up not doing it. And Hillary could have been running against the devil and she still wouldn't have got my vote. Okay. So,
Mike got a question for you, Shantavia.
yes.
Go ahead,
Can you
Mike.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You speak so eloquently. So my question is, why do you not want to run for office? Because you have done something today that you don't see any of these people running for do. You have explained things so well.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned a lot just from listening to you today. So I'm just wondering what's preventing you from running to make change.
I don't know. I have been asked before, because I had a friend who had a podcast, and he passed away in May, and I used to call in regularly on his show
Sorry for your
and
loss.
do the same
Sorry for your
thing,
loss.
and people would say the same thing. I don't know.
Because
He
what
was
you have
very
done,
special, and he had millions of viewers all over. He was on YouTube too.
some people just don't know how to put things into words as well as you have. You know, I have a lot that goes on in my mind, but I don't know
Hmm.
how to express them.
Hmm. Well, I want people to understand, so I try to bring it in a relatable sense to them. The best way to explain things is not way up. You find something that relates to the person and you come up with an analogy that they can understand that perfectly explains it to them, right? So that they get it. Like I tried to explain to people about the border issue when Trump was in office, that your first priority as a husband, a father, is your household, right?
Right.
This is in all of the government, your household. Once your household is okay, then your next responsibility is your block, right? You want to make sure everything on your block is functioning, running right, ain't no potholes, you know what I'm saying? The kids can walk safely up and down, play, all that. The next step is your neighborhood. Then you worry about all the other blocks and the people and make sure that it's safe for them to walk to school, walk to the park, you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. The neighborhood is safe, funded, everybody got what they need. Then you worry about the city. Then you move on to your county and then your state. It's levels. And if you wouldn't, in however safe you feel in your neighborhood, take the hinges off your door and open up all the windows and let people just show up and come in and sit down and eat the groceries and run up the light bill, and you the only person working in there, then you should be able to understand why we can't just leave the border open and just allow people to come in, because we got a budget, okay? I got a budget. I got a budget for the people that's in my household. It's already worked out how much I need for
Go
groceries, how
ahead.
much I'm gonna spend on light bill, how much the gas bill is. I can't just open the door and let 300 more people in and just be like, I'll figure it out.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then what they're
Preach.
doing with these illegals is, it's like your kids got a bedroom and you keep telling your kids, I can't get you a new bedroom set. I can't buy you no new clothes. We got to eat these noodles every night because it's hungry. But then some neighbor kid come to your house and you not only get them a new bedroom set and buy them McDonald's and buy them new clothes, but you use your kids' allowance to do it and then tell them they're a terrible person if they feel some way about it. That's how I explain it to people. It doesn't mean that you can't care about other people, but you got to take care of home first. The number one rule of survival is self-preservation. We have to preserve our country. And where you gonna go? The America is it. Like, where you gonna go? If America, where you gonna go to get this kind of freedom at?
Nowhere.
Where you gonna go to be a capitalist and run a business? Because most countries, you born poor, you die poor, right? You can't
You're spot
say
on.
what you want to. You can't go out and protest and do all these things that we get to do here and say that we don't like our government. We can't do that. Where are you going to go? So you have to stand firm on home, because where else are you going to go? And if the country is so racist, why is everybody that's brown breaking their neck to get in here and risking their life to get in here? If we the most racist country in the world and we so terrible, and I mean, why is everybody breaking their neck to get in here? And I reject the notion that we were founded in racism, because people forget we fought a whole civil war over slavery. There were people who didn't agree with it. The Underground Railroad would not have existed without white people, okay? The Emancipation Proclamation wouldn't have existed without white people. Okay? It wasn't just black people that did that. It wasn't just slaves. They didn't know a lot of stuff. How did they know to go to Ohio and all and get on and follow this house? And people had little jockeys outside so they know it's safe to come there. And people, and this is another thing that I want people to understand too. Oh my God, I'm getting fired up. The KKK was not a racist organization.
Hold up. What? Wait.
Listen, listen,
Whoa.
listen.
Hold on. No, God dang it. Hold on.
No. I'm about to break it down to you.
All right, go ahead. Start it
Their
over
sole
again.
purpose for existing was the backlash of the power, the political power that freed slaves gained after they were freed from slavery. So they didn't care that they were black. They cared that they didn't vote for Democrats. Not just black people were lynched. White Republicans were lynched, okay? White abolitionists were lynched because they wanted political power, much like today. And you see it because they don't care if you black, if you ain't liberal. They don't care if you gay, if you ain't voting Democrat, okay? They don't care if you black, gay, Latino, they don't care what you are, what box that they want to check for you if you're not voting Democrat. And if you tell them that you're not voting Democrat, they will call you every name under the sun. They'll terrorize you, dox you, and all of the things that the KKK did to try to force people to vote Democrat and not Republican. Terror. That's what they did. It wasn't about race. It was about political power. And they're still doing it today.
Where can I go to confirm that information? I'm asking that because
You can
someone
just
else
look at
might ask that.
history. Just look at history. The history, if you look back, when they were lynching, they weren't just lynching black people. They were lynching white Republicans. They were lynching anybody who would vote Republican because the Democrats had lost a lot of power right after the Civil War. And black people held seats of power in Congress. They were governors, they were mayors. And they started changing laws to equalize things for the freed slaves. And Democrats didn't like that. So they launched the KKK to terrorize people in the South to force them to vote Democrat. And that was how Democrats started gaining a little more power. When they got power back, they reversed everything that the Republicans, freed slaves, had done. And that's where you came up with the Jim Crow laws and the vagrancy laws, and that was them overturning all of the things that the Republican Party had did to grant them equality and freedom in this country and make them feel. Do you know? Let me tell you something else.
You are on fire. Let me tell you that
Another
much.
thing that Democrats do is they propose bills for laws that are already laws.
They propose
It's already
bills or
legal. It's
laws that
already
are
a law
already.
for it, but they campaign and push it and push it and push it and make people think that this is something that we need and it's already legal and already a law. Okay. Do you know that black people got the right to vote? And I think it was 1866. So we
Okay.
didn't need a Voting Rights Act in 1965. We don't need a Voting Rights Act now because they're still trying to do it now. Where I want somebody to tell me, because in all the years that I've been voting, I've moved around in different states. I have never had a problem registering to vote, and I've never had a problem voting. So somebody got to tell me where my voting rights don't exist, because I haven't had a problem.
Wow. So Lyndon B. Johnson wasn't doing the damn thing. He was just doing it for
He
what?
did it because Kennedy had already made an agreement with King for the black vote to pass the civil rights law. When Johnson came in, this is what black people were expecting for the Democrat vote, right? So the only way that he was going to be reelected, because he was put there after Kennedy's death, but he was running for reelection, and the only way that he could win reelection was with the black vote. So he only had to pass, and he had to really work hard because Democrats didn't want to give black people the right to vote. And then once black people had the right to vote, They figured, well, then we got to get them to vote for us because they had the power then to change the dynamic in elections. Now I don't know how effective that is, even though they still tell them, because you have to break down the numbers. If we are once was 13, but now we're 12% of the population, and you have to account on the number of ones who are in jail or out of jail but cannot vote, and of that 13, 12%, and then the ones who are not of age to vote. That's a small percentage of voters. How we swinging elections?
Wow.
How? The numbers don't match.
It don't. The math not mathing.
Because a large percentage is not old enough to vote, can't vote, or locked up in jail and can't vote, right? Or just don't vote. Think of the number of people who don't vote. That shrinks that percentage of voters very small. We are not swinging elections.
I like to talk.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm talking to you, though, I like to listen.
I'm just glad to be able to get all this stuff out because I watch people and it just ain't enough characters for me to type to say what I want to say
Hey, I agree 1,000%.
and to explain things.
I agree 1,000%. Now, when it comes to people believing that that the Republican Party is the racist party because of the big switch, how do you feel about that?
It is, I'm going to tell you, I came to this conclusion in that Democrats run the majority of Black people's areas education. And they know, and they decide the curriculum, what's taught, how it's taught. We were taught those things, right? Because if I mistreated a people for all of this time, of course I'm going to point the finger at the other guy, right? And they run everything in the cities and stuff. So who's going to challenge? Republicans don't go to the city of Chicago and be running for city council and all of that stuff. So if all of your information is coming from one side and they control the information that you receive and learn, you don't know unless you go out and seek that information or it comes upon you. And a lot of this information came because, like I said, I dove deep in once I realized I've been lied to because I had considered myself a well-read person, that I knew stuff, I knew what I was talking about, and I don't like to feel like I don't know something that I should, right? Like, I don't want to vote and I don't know what I'm voting for. I think that an uninformed voter is just as dangerous as a voter who I don't even know what to compare that to, but if you don't have the information because you put in other people's lives and things and educate yourself, this is important. I don't understand why we can find all the time in the world to keep up with what's going on with Will and Jada Smith and who is mad at who and who at the award show, but then have all this vitriol for what this country and these and they trying to hold us down and stuff, but you won't take the time to learn how it even works. The Constitution is our contract with the government. Who goes into business and don't read their contract and understand it and hold the other party accountable to it? How is it, I'm not interested in all of that stuff, and it don't affect me? But you keep complaining about the system. But then on the other hand, saying how it doesn't affect you, either it does or it doesn't. I'm a firm believer that our system is the best system. It's a great system. There are corrupt people within the system that manipulate it. But the system is fine.
When I'm talking to you, I'm getting an echo. Are you on speakerphone or something on that side?
I am.
All right, it's all good. Racism, white supremacy, systemic racism.
Okay, let me break it down to you. I tell people when they bring that argument to me that most black people that I know, at least, who live in cities like Detroit, Chicago, Minneapolis, Dade County, you name it, Philadelphia, they don't even spend their time around white people. If they even work with white people, so tell me where these mysterious white supremacists are that you're scared of and worried about. Okay. When I lived in Georgia and I avoided Atlanta, and it wasn't because of white supremacists. Okay. When I lock my doors to my car when I get out and I make sure that my purse ain't sitting on the seat or nothing, it ain't because I'm worried about white supremacists. Okay. When I'm walking down my street and it's after dark, I'm not worried about white supremacists. Okay. When I'm walking downtown and a group of people come my way, I don't clutch my purse because I'm worried about white supremacists. Okay. And they need to be honest. Your neighborhood is not safe, not because of white supremacists. They ain't coming into your neighborhood graffitiing all over the walls, dropping litter everywhere, breaking into your houses, stealing your cars, and harassing your kids because they want them to join their gang. Okay? It's not white supremacists. And I don't know where they got this idea that that's the biggest threat and the biggest thing that they got to worry about while they are around people who look like them that they are in fear of and don't trust because they're more likely to harm them or try to take something from them. So they have to explain that to me. And the system is not, you can't compare every time that they want to throw up a mass shooting, they want to talk about white people shooting up schools. When was the last time we had a school shooting?
Facts.
Okay, but when was the last time that you can go to any city and somebody done shot and 12 people done got injured, 3 people done died? That's a mass shooting. That is the definition of a mass shooting, and it go on every night in Chicago, Philly, Detroit. Okay, those are your mass shooters,
Yep.
and they're doing it with illegal guns. And again, you want to turn the problem on everybody else. We need to do something about this gun violence and this and that, and now all of a sudden it's the guns problem because y'all haven't got a control of. I don't understand why they think that it's somebody else's responsibility to come into their community and fix anything. And then when people come in and try to fix it, then you hear them talking about they just trying to gentrify it and excuse me, the people want to come in and make the neighborhood look nice, okay, and bring some jobs in, okay. And then they complain we can't. If the crime is so bad because we don't have jobs and this and that. Well, no business is going to come there until y'all get the crime under control. Who's going to come and put a business there and every night y'all robbing it? And they can't keep their employees safe. Business in your community brings tax revenue, which helps with your school funding and roads and all of the things that you need. But if you can't get no business in there, nothing is that money don't just fall out of the sky. It's certain stuff that y'all got to do. You got to go to your city council meetings. You got to read your budgets, see where they spending the money at, how much money they spending, and if they spending it.
If they're spending it.
So that's nobody's problem but yours. I remember growing up and we had block clubs, right? It was safe for us to walk up and down our blocks. Halloween, they block off the streets and we'd have a party so that it wasn't a danger for us to have to go out trick or treating all over the city, you know? And I grew up in Detroit. But when those things left, so did all of the things. I remember a time when we knew all of our neighbors, and our neighbors to us, their children were like our siblings, right? Each parent knew everybody's children and looked out for everybody's children.
Facts.
If I didn't have the way to school, my grandmother could look out and see somebody walking their kid and say, hey, can she walk with you? And hey, yeah, you can't do that now. And it's not because of outsiders. It's because of insiders, and y'all won't check them. Where are the men in your community to say, you can't do this here? We won't allow this here. I love me a Karen that's gonna see you sitting on the corner and come over, knock on your window and say, what you doing here?
Wow.
You know somebody that lives in this neighborhood? You know?
Keep things safe.
Yes, that's what it is. It's safety. I want somebody to be nosy because I've had apartments broken into in broad daylight and nobody saw nothing. But if I lived near Karen, I bet you she'd have saw something and she probably came over there and been like, what are you doing?
Right.
Okay? And then get upset when things happen and nobody wants to say anything when it happens to them. We are selfish people. We don't care about things until it hits our doorstep. You don't care about gun violence until somebody you know gets shot.
Get shot.
You don't care about people kicking in doors until somebody kicks in your door. You don't care about people carjacking until somebody jack your car. Because I bet you somebody knows who jacking cars. And if nobody outside their house knows, somebody inside their house know. Everybody know who's selling drugs. Everybody know who's spray painting all over the neighborhood. So if you don't care enough about your community's safety, then why do you think that other people outside got to care more about it than you do? Why did Scott Presler have to get a team of people to go into Baltimore to clean up the streets? And the residents they just living in it. Just living in it, ain't complaining about it except to each other, and ain't gonna pick it up. And you live there. Some things they have to be accountable for. But then when you try to say those things, then these are white supremacists talk. We tap dancing for the white man and we hate black. I had somebody tell me I hate black people.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. But hey, I'll be that. Call me whatever you like. I know I'm telling the truth.
Do me a favor.
I know I'm telling the truth. You didn't call me a liar. That's what you didn't do.
Yeah, the only thing
You
that
can call
could
me
do is
whatever you
attack
like, but you can't call me a liar.
Yeah, attack your integrity. That's all they can do,
Mm-hmm.
and even that's
Yep.
made up.
So I think that's all I got. Do you have any questions? I mean, that's all I got
I
for right
want you
now.
to. I want you to check the private message I just now sent you.
Let's see
Yeah.
if I can. I don't know how to work this.
All right. It just says for you to email me.
Okay,
You got that?
I got it.
Thank you so much for your
I
contribution
got it.
to today's live stream. I really appreciate it.
Mhm. I do, and I would just say people have to stop being afraid to say the things that are true. I got into arguments with people who were close to me. I had people. I fell out with friends and stuff. But like I said, I stand 10 toes down on it because I know I'm right. And I am a firm believer, and I've always been this way, that I'm honest with people and I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And even if you don't accept it right now, it'll come a time down the road, because I've had people call me and say, everything that you was telling me, I'm seeing it now. So even if they're not listening at that moment, still plant the seeds, because believe me, eventually they're going to have to open their eyes and see, because this is blatant. They will see. And they may not even come to you, but you just want people to wake up. Plant the seeds.
Plant the seed.
And I don't bombard people with my opinions, but if you ask me, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be very honest.
Well, I'm always ask. God dang it. All right. So that has been Shantavia. Much love to her. I got a lot of echoes, so I'm gonna shut this down a little bit. But I really appreciate you.
I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you giving me the chance to get this information out there.
Nah, you really helped out me and my my community. Thank you so much.
hmm
And
You have a
don't
great
forget,
day.
hey, don't forget, email me, please.
Okay, I will.
All right, later. You have an amazing day.
You as well. Thank you.
All
Bye.
right, later. Shantavia, everybody. Shantavia. That's what I'm talking about. God dang it. Yeah, man, listen, I like to run my mouth, but when I'm in front of a educator, such as Shantavia, let me tell you something. I shuts up and I listens. I think she's some type of college professor or something, and she just won't say it. Probably a history professor, history buff. But at the end of the day, I will tell y'all this: that won't be the last time that you hear from her. It won't be the last time you hear from her at all. At all. Much love to you all for hanging out with us today. I'm about to go ahead and skedaddle and get me something to eat. Thank you so much, Robert. I really appreciate that, my guy. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Y'all are so awesome. And y'all have been showing so much love to our guests who have showed up today. For all the guests who decided to come up here and speak up, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Not only to Shantavia, but to George, to Kim, to Mike. Who else came up? And to Big Craig, who came up on our live stream before I decided to go live on YouTube today. We were live on Twitch. And Joey, Hydroman 5000. So again, guys, thank y'all so much for joining in. I'm out. Much love to you all, and thank you for the super chat. That's so dope. Thank you to everyone who helped me out modding the live stream, and I will see y'all on the next stream. Y'all are a true blessing. I will say this before I end. I want to say this. If you don't pray, please pray. All right, pray for yourselves. Pray for your family. Pray for your community. Pray for your enemies if you have any. And pray for people, generalized. Pray for anybody who have you and your family's best interests at heart. Pray for Israel. Pray for Palestine. Pray for just pray for world peace. How about that? Pray for our world leaders, presidents and governors and senators and speakers of the House, all of them. Just send it up to God, because there's a lot of things that are happening that we have no control over. Much love to you all. Love y'all. You can't do a damn thing about it. If you don't love me back, that's your business, but you can't stop me from loving you. All right? Y'all be easy. I'll see y'all on the next live stream. And again, all of my mods, thank you again for helping me out per usual. See y'all.